Hey everyone, I'm excited to let you know that this month's video is sponsored by Keen. Now, I've worked with Keen in the past and I wanted to share with you a special deal that I will get to in a minute. But first, let me tell you about my experience connecting with a Keen advisor. I've shared before that when I need to get a reading for myself, I've gotten readings through Keen. Just yesterday, I got a reading from a lovely advisor named Lynn. She was very similar to myself in that she is very practical, direct, and simple in her delivery when communicating things throughout the reading. She gave me insight into my relationships, and she even helped me come up with some new ideas for my business. Now, what I love most about Keen is that the advisors are available 24/7, and you can even schedule a time if you want. And this is great if you have an advisor that you prefer to work with or an advisor that you've already established a relationship with. So here's the deal that Keen has extended to my viewers. You can get your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. And the price after that depends on which advisor you choose. But the best part is that this service is backed by a satisfaction guarantee. Keen is the most affordable way to meet new advisors, especially when you want guidance and support on things like dream interpretation, chakra clearing, getting insight into certain situations, career plans, relationships, whatever. Now, once you become a Keen user, each week you'll get emails that offer discounts and specials so you can get multiple readings in the most efficient way available. So make sure you check your inbox this week if you're already a Keen customer. Now, if you haven't signed up with Keen yet, it's a really simple process that can be done via mobile or desktop. All you're going to do is head on over to trykeen.com/intuitive gems, and you'll click on the sign up button and follow the steps to get started. The whole process should take less than 2 minutes, and you'll be on your way to connecting with a screened and talented advisor instantly. So I want to say thank you again to Keen for sponsoring this video, and now on to your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, and abundance reading for the month of August 2020. I apologize for the shiftiness here. I'm trying to get myself situated. Okay. So if this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say a welcome, and I invite you to subscribe, because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I will be using my Spellcaster's Tarot deck. For clarifiers, I will be using my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And then, Scorpio, I will close out your reading with the Angels of Abundance Oracle card. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So what do we need to know for the sign of Scorpio as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020? What do we need to know for the sign of Scorpio? Okay, Scorpio. Looks like cards are hesitating to come out. What do we need to know for Scorpio? As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020. Okay. All right, Scorpio, I'm not surprised by the cards that are showing up because you saw it really just kind of took a while to get your cards to want to come out. And usually when that happens, it means that, you know, there's some stubbornness sometimes. Also, it means that there's something that doesn't want to be communicated. There's something that does not want to be revealed. Now, as this relates to you, Scorpio, is there something that you don't want to share, you don't want to communicate? Is there something you don't want people to know? Are you holding back deliberately for your own reasons? Good, bad, neutral. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. And of course, everyone goes through periods of that at some time. But we have to make sure that if we are going to withhold, if we are going to take a step back, if we are going to cut something off or cut off communication or distance ourselves from something or someone, we have to make sure that it is going to be something that benefits us long term. I can clearly see here that there's something you're holding back, Scorpio. There's something you just don't want people to know. There's something you just don't want to share. And, you know, we can respect that, of course. But let's see how it plays out as we move into the new month of August. So we have the Hangman in reverse, Page of Swords upright, Seven of Cups upright, King of Swords reverse, Five of Swords upright, and then the Moon card upright. So I think as we move into August, Scorpio, you're going to be feeling very, very guarded. You're going to be very selective about who you reach out to, who you connect with, about the conversations you have. You're just going to be very, I want to say removed from the mainstream. And I don't necessarily mean, you know, just news and what's going on in our world right now, but you're going to be very removed from your own world, from your own circle of people, from your work even. Now, this is something I think that's more of a growth phase for you, Scorpio. Excuse me, because it looks like you're kind of moving past being stuck. You're getting some news and information about something that's going to be removed. Something is going to be eliminated from your life in some way as it relates to money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance. Now, I always say this is good because a lot of times when things are removed, it clears the way for new opportunities and something bigger, better, stronger, and more fulfilling. We also have the Seven of Cups here talking about you're going to have so many options, you know, so I think sometimes having a guarded position, having a very neutral or undefined stance could really work for you at this time, Scorpio. We also have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is someone who really has discernment and sometimes a very, I don't want to say mean energy, but it's someone who really does not take into account anything or anyone else if it does not pertain to him. And I'm feeling like that's kind of where you are right now. It's like, you know, you're kind of done being nice. You're kind of done being accommodating to other people. Now it's all about taking care of you and yours. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I think everybody, like I said, goes through these phases. We also have the Five of Swords here. Now, the Five of Swords talks about strained communication sometimes. It also talks about a lot of back and forth, sometimes bickering, sometimes arguments, sometimes really tense conversations. And I think you're going to kind of be experiencing that as we move into August, Scorpio. So just get ready. You know, don't feel like you have to explain why you're doing what you do, because that's where this King of Swords energy comes in. You know, you don't have to give anybody an explanation. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to, you don't have to reveal anything that you're not comfortable with sharing. And I think I've made that pretty clear as we've gone through the cards here. Again, we've got the Moon card in the upright position talking about something is deliberately not being shared. Something is deliberately not being made public. Now, that could also be something work related too. I think as we move through the month, things will probably start to come into the light, and you will start to see, Scorpio, that whatever you decide to do, it's going to be justified and it's going to be in the right timing for you. Okay. All right, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Scorpio as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020? Okay. All right, definitely you've got some big changes coming as it relates to your work. We have the Three of Swords upright, Seven of Pentacles upright, Tower reverse, nice. The Fool card upright, and then the Page of Wands upright. Page of Wands talks about messages coming in regarding your work. It's going to be more good news. You're going to get some good news. You're going to get a hint of it here, and then more good news is showing up for you here. But we do have this Three of Swords. Now, this explains a lot as to why maybe you're so guarded. This is a big disappointment. Now, I'm not talking about personal relationships here. I'm focused strictly on work and your money. You just were disappointed about something. That's very clear here. I'm getting that intuitively. Scorpio, there was a disappointment. There was a letdown. There was some hurt. There was some, maybe even some anger. There was something that definitely threw you off, and now that explains why you're taking a step back, why you're being selective in what you're doing, and why you're really just not, sharing your plans with anyone. This is totally justified. I totally understand. It makes sense for you to feel the way you do, Scorpio, and again, you don't have to explain or defend or justify this to anyone. Next up, we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles, this is an interesting card talking about the workflow. It's also a card that talks about planting seeds and doing the work and still not getting any harvest. I don't know if that's kind of where you're at, Scorpio. If it is, I can tell you that this is only going to be a temporary frustration. The other thing too is sometimes the Seven of Pentacles will show up when we're secretly working on something else and we don't want anybody to know and we don't want to share it. We don't want to let people know, what we're doing. And I see this card a lot when I see people who have side hustles that they don't want anyone to know. Now, what's funny is this card has shown up for me several times in private readings. When someone has a side hustle, they're doing it. It may not be acceptable, meaning sometimes they have a side hustle of doing some type of sex work, or sometimes they have a side hustle of maybe dealing in drugs or something that's not, I guess widely accepted, but it could still be a very lucrative thing regardless. So I'm not sure if that's where you're at, Scorpio, but I just wanted to throw it out there that, hey, if it works, no judgment here. We all got to pay the bills. We all got to do what we got to do. And again, you don't have to explain to anyone. As long as you're not hurting anyone, I think that whatever it is totally acceptable. Next up, we have the Tower card in reverse. I love to see the Tower card in reverse because that means the worst is over. Now it's all about clearing the way, making room for something new, something better. The Tower card also talks about how, things have been broken down. Now it's time for you to have a breakthrough. You may not have chosen the circumstances. You may not have chosen the way things happened or how they happened or when they happened. But you know that now it's all about rebuilding. It's all about moving forward. It's about taking new risks, accepting new challenges, redefining what direction you're going, having a new clear goal about your money, about your work, about your business, and about your career. This is very exciting because it means a turning point is definitely in play here. Once we get to that second week of August, Scorpio, Things are going to be shifting definitely for you in a very big way. We also have the Fool. This just confirms what I just said. You've got a new adventure, you've got a new path, you've got new opportunities that are starting to show up for you in very profound and moving ways. You're taking action, you're not wasting time, you're really ready to start collecting the money, so to speak. You know, you're not sitting and waiting for things to happen, you're making them happen. You're definitely going out there, getting what's yours, doing whatever it is that you need to do in order to be fulfilled and in order to get the income that you want. There's no shame in this. There is no reason to feel like you're doing something wrong or that you have to slow down. Very much, this is confirmation that you are stepping in the right direction, in the right way, and in the right timing. I already talked about the Page of Wands here. You're getting some new positive news, information about work. This is exciting. Get ready, because it's definitely going to be an announcement that affects you in a very positive way. And I think this is something that you may have thought was not going to happen, but unexpectedly, good things just start showing up. You probably had written something off, you know, something you had wrote off a long time ago, and now it's starting to come into focus. It's starting to solidify in a way that you just didn't expect, and I think this is going to be really good. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020. Okay. All right. As we move into the second half of the month, Scorpio, you're going to have a lot of people showing up, a lot of support, a lot of input, a lot of feedback, people showing up for you in some positive ways here. Also, things are going to be moving kind of haphazardly, meaning things start moving very quickly, then something turns and something happens and things slow way down. It's almost like you're trying to figure out, you know, who's going to do what, who you're going to work with for this, who's going to handle that. It's really about, you know, finding the key players who are around you, especially as it relates to your money, and seeing who's going to be taking care of what. We have the Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands reversed, and we have the King of Wands and the King of Swords. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be showing up. Queen of Swords talks about someone or something with that energy of someone making decisions to kind of alleviate some burdens, right? Someone, it's like you delegate someone to handle something so you don't have to work, you know, worry about it and work with it anymore. Now, this is also someone here too who has the energy of being very focused, very strategic, and someone who is very responsible. And I think that's really good. So if you do have this type of energy around you, Scorpio, it's a good idea to kind of utilize that for your benefit. Again, make no apologies. If you need to use someone's talent to leverage yourself, I think you should feel okay doing so. You know, we're not trying to, you know, make friends here. We're trying to create the life that we want. And when I say utilize people for their skills and talents, I don't mean it in a way that doesn't benefit them as well. But I mean that if someone is really good at something and that will help you, I think you should definitely, you know, support that partnership. You know, obviously you would, you know, do what you can, either pay the person or do some type of bartering, whatever the case may be. But, you know, don't feel bad about, you know, tapping into the resources of others if it's going to help benefit you in some way. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is all about speed. Remember, stuff comes in real quick and then it moves out real quick. The Knight of Swords, too, talks about timeliness. So things, like I said, are going to happen kind of haphazardly. The thing about the Knight of Swords is that he's very swift. You know, things happen, but sometimes he just doesn't have any direction. He doesn't have any structure. So when things start happening all of a sudden, sometimes they're just all over the place. I think that's something you're going to need to be prepared for as we move into the second half of August. Next up, we got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about financial support, financial help, a financial offer. Again, because he is part of the Knights, sometimes things happen very, very swiftly. And we just have to be careful that, you know, all the details are being paid attention to. Sometimes things can happen really, really sloppy. And I only say that because he's right next to the Knight of Swords. So someone will be showing up to help you. We just have to make sure that this is the right person for the job. We have to make sure that, you know, they're the ones who, you know, kind of have their you know what together, and that we're not, you know, handing something off to someone who's sloppy, lazy, irresponsible. You know, we don't want that. We just have to make sure we pay attention to all the details. I already talked about the Eight of Wands. This means that things just kind of slow down. Like I said, things happen very quickly and swiftly, but then there's some inconsistency here. There's some inconsistency with the timing. Some things are taking off like a bullet, and then other things are just dragging, you know, like caramel. I don't know why I said caramel, but caramel, molasses, whatever the case may be. So just, you know, kind of be flexible in your attitude so you are not frustrated by this, because this isn't anything you can control. You just got to have, you know, you just got to roll with it, Scorpio. Next, we have the King of Wands and the King of Swords. These are two power players here. You're going to have some people in a supervisor or superior role who are definitely going to do something to help you and that will benefit you, especially as it relates to work in your business. These are two solid, responsible, upstanding people. And I'm really getting the energy that these are people here. We're talking about people. Now, it doesn't have to be males. It could be women. But you definitely are going to have some power players show up for you in a big way. Now, this is very exciting because these are people who genuinely want to help. So try to be authentic when you approach them, or if they approach you, and really be open to the support and the input and the guidance that they may be offering you. I think this is probably going to be a game changer, because you could have been stuck on something and all you really needed was a tip or a little bit of insight from someone who knows, you know, knows the game a little bit better than you, and it literally just changes things for you. All right, so what else do we need to know for the sign of Scorpio as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2020? Cards are flying all over the place. Okay. All right. Okay, Scorpio. Excuse me. As we close out the month, looks like you're going to be, you know, you're going to be in a new space. And when I say that, it could be a physical space, but I'm getting the sense that you're going to be in a new realm, a new role, a new, could be a new position even. And I say that because of some of the cards we have here, especially this Ace of Swords. But I'm looking at the Judgment card, and then I'm looking at the Three of Cups. You know, all of these in the upright. Then we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. So the Four of Wands in the reverse, this is nothing to be concerned about. However, pay attention when you're starting out on something new, because you know, the Four of Wands is all about stability and foundation. When it shows up in the reverse, it means that some things may not be as solid as you assume that they are. So really pay attention to the details. Make sure everything is done as it's supposed to be done. All right. You may find some things that need to be tightened up. Could be literally or figuratively when I say that. Just make sure that your foundation is very solid. Okay. I can't emphasize that enough. We also have the Three of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles is you being recognized and sought out for your work. It's also too where people are admiring your work. So, you're really going to be in a position, and I'm feeling that strongly, Scorpio, where you can pick and choose what you want to do. You've got a lot of options here, as we saw earlier in the month, and you're definitely going to have the ability and the freedom to really decide what direction you want to go. This is a very powerful place for you to be, and you're going to be in that energy at the end of August. We also have the Judgment card. This is a decision being made in your favor. The other thing about the Judgment card too is it just really means that things just really start to kind of sync up for you and really start to flow together. You probably were waiting or working towards something and you just haven't seen any results. The Judgment card talks about you are going to start seeing results if that's your particular circumstance. The other thing is the Judgment card means, it's almost like a fresh start. It's almost like coming into a new, and like I said, a new realm, a new space, a new awareness of who you are and what it is you want to do and what you're trying to create. Now, when you get really clear, because the other thing about the Judgment card is ultimate clarity, when you get into that clear headspace and you are totally confident and totally defined in what you want and who you are, everything starts to come together. There's no more wishy-washiness. There's just a definiteness of purpose, as Napoleon Hill would say. And I think that's definitely going to shine through again for you, Scorpio, once we hit the end of the month. Finally, we have the Three of Cups and the Ace of Swords here. Three of Cups talks about a celebration. This is also too where it's just a really good time. It's like you're feeling very empowered, very, grounded, very much, comfortable in the direction that you're headed. This is very, very good. This is a lot of positive energy. Again, it's falling on to these two power players here. So it's just more confirmation that you are in the right place at the right time and you have the right people around you to help you get the job done. Ace of Swords talks about the starting of something new. Now, this also is about simplifying. You may be trying to simplify a new type of work you're doing. Maybe you are starting a new career and you're ready to leave behind the old because you just want to embrace and experience the new. You're definitely going to be doing that. This is also a very positive card as it relates to your money because it talks about the elimination of unexpected expenses too. It's like sometimes this card will show up when you finally pay off all your debts. So it's like now you're not paying debts. Now all of your money can go towards something else. So this is very, very good. If you are in that space where you're paying off your debts, congratulations, Scorpio. It's going to be life-changing for you in so many ways. So overall, Scorpio, your month of August, you've got a challenging kind of first couple weeks here, but I promise you it's going to smooth out once we hit the second half of the month, okay? So do your best with what you have and just try not to judge anything with how it shows up. You're really clear about what you want and where you're going. And that's really all that matters. And I think when you do that, you're going to feel a lot more confident and just a lot more settled in, to your space. All right, Scorpio, so we have your Angels of Abundance Oracle card. This one is called Do the Work. Yes, it's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. Beautiful. I think this definitely resonates for your month, Scorpio. Do the work. Not that I had any doubt that you were not going to do the work, but I think this is just a gentle reminder to just stay focused and work on those priorities and watch things start to take shape. All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. And if you would like to connect with me for a private reading, I will have that information linked for you in the description as well. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.